30.000 euro. Questo è quanto riceve ogni partecipante al progetto. Sì, non è uno scherzo, è il reddito mensile medio di ogni partecipante al progetto. L'abbiamo tenuto segreto per molto tempo mentre la piattaforma era in fase di test, ma ora il segreto è stato svelato. La piattaforma è già disponibile per tutti in Italia. È la migliore piattaforma di investimento mai creata dall'uomo. Qui puoi guadagnare fino a 1.000 euro al giorno. Tutto è ufficiale. Il governo ha sostenuto e approvato questo progetto. Tutto quello che dovete fare è registrarvi al link sotto il video ed effettuare un pagamento una tantum di 250 euro. Se non guadagnerete 7.000 euro nella prima settimana, il governo vi pagherà un risarcimento di 90.000 euro. Affrettatevi a registrarvi, perché qualcun altro potrebbe prendere il vostro posto.
Negotiation. I don't know that this is one way to kind of show all these things that we're doing. The other one is, a common area of struggle, I think both for our team and for other teams. I think it's felt both ways, is in the ways that we work cross-functionally, trying to negotiate that work. And so in the past, sometimes it's come in ad hoc or last minute. And so you say, okay, I'm working on this thing, but all of a sudden this analyst report that if I would have known about it a month ago, I would have planned for it. But now that it dropped on my plate, I have to shove other stuff off the plate, or this field marketing event. So the goal is to try to avoid that, like shove off the plate and plan for this stuff. So I asked the field marketing team to tell us all the events that they need. And they did. Has anybody looked at this yet?
It was a few days ago, I think, but there were like three big events was what it really boiled down to, right?
So,
and the other thing I'll mention just
yeah.
before you, because maybe you'll answer it or not, but if I ask it first, you will. Which is just that it was a little hard to tell which ones were already taken. And each of them that I clicked into, ultimately, I found they were taken, even after reading through the thread and that kind of thing. So I wondered if we could assert a label, or is there a label that I'm just missing? Is there some way they indicate we've already got the PMM for this?
So that is a good question. So honestly, I asked for these in like a spreadsheet, and my thought is that field marketing would have asked us for like 20 events, but in reality, it was only 10. And so among a team of like 6 people, including myself, so 5 PMMs and me, that would serve as like speakers and moderators for these events. And Alita, if this is something of interest to you, we could also like include you in the loop and get you kind of doing this kind of thing. But that feels kind of reasonable. That's like less than 2 each for the quarter. Does that seem like a reasonable amount of requests from field? I thought it was much higher than that.
I think we've done much higher than that, at least in the last quarters. I would say I've done at least 4 to 5.
Yeah, same.
In the last quarter.
Yeah, I feel the same way too. But so I thought this was going to be a lot longer list.
Is there an allowance for some number of them that will still pop up?
I was going to say, I'm guessing there are ones that they may not have thought through.
My explicit ask is can you tell us everything you need for the quarter? And is that reasonable? If it's not reasonable, then let me know. But is this a reasonable ask? And I was assured, yes, this is a completely reasonable ask. So to your point, maybe everything's not on here, but at least we have a framework. So if something else comes on this quarter and it's not on this list now, we have some kind of a framework to say we either can or can't support that. So to Brian's point, I am wondering if there is like a way to sort by like a signee. So I can think of 2 ways to do this, Brian. One, we could like port all of these into a spreadsheet so we could look at them and say, okay, well, there's 10 of them, but 7 of them are security and they all want Cindy, right? Like that's not going to work, right? So I don't have a good way to sort these for now. That's kind of why I just wanted to chat about it as a team for ideas. I asked for them in a spreadsheet. They're like, no, we work out of issues. We want issues. I was like, issues is fine. We'll work with the issues. But to your point, Brian, this view doesn't help us. So any suggestions on how to like parse this?
We could
What would
just
be-
have a two-state label. Got a PMM, don't got a PMM. Something like that.
Oh,
Wasn't that SM request assigned? Wouldn't
yeah,
that?
that's what I was thinking, but
Okay.
that is, are they each individual? Yeah, that would work.
Okay, so it could be like label equals.
We have one, yeah.
Yeah,
S-
we've got it there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I hate these labels, but hey, if it becomes helpful, SM request assigned. So let's see. Actually, it would be label. So it looks like two of them have that. So we would want label does not equal SM request assigned.
Yeah. Well, then as usual, it's label hygiene. So like if somewhere in the comments someone says, "Yep, I got it," but then the label doesn't flip, then it's still whatever.
I would
Maybe it wasn't a big enough concern to engineer a solution. But
Yeah, I mean it would be.
Well, there's a May 5th event there, so hopefully that's assigned to someone.
Yeah, look at that. That's like tomorrow, right? So that's even.
Tacos and tequila.
Is there anybody assigned? Fern.
Fern has taken this one, and this one got moved actually. So yeah,
I think
one's
this
in the
is from last.
27th
I
instead
think
of
it's from
4th.
last quarter, and it, or maybe it got moved to the 27th. So,
Yeah.
Oh, and I was thinking of Emily's comment on the issue there, where she mentioned that they need help on Google Next, KubeCon, and AWS.
so that's also on the list, and that's under corporate marketing.
Yeah.
So field marketing and corporate marketing are like they both run events, right? And so corporate marketing are large company-wide global events, things like KubeCon, Google,
That's
Next.
why it seems like there's more, because there are more. They're just categorized differently.
Yeah, so like big events like reInvent or KubeCon, those are corporate marketing. Field marketing will be like a regional event. And in non-COVID times, this could be an in-person event, but it usually would be for a region. These days they're all virtual because of COVID. So that might be some of the reasons why we feel like we're doing. So let's chat about corporate marketing in a moment. I'm hesitant to prescribe the label because it's like just an extra step if there is a way, but if that becomes helpful, maybe like we can go through and try that out. So if you pick one up, maybe change the label to assigned. And since there's only 10, I'll try to go through these by the end of the day. I think my ask would be like, can you go through? Maybe that I just need to do that. Maybe I just need to go through and see if they have assigned for field. So let's do that. Okay, so field. I'll do this today, and I should have done it for this meeting. To see what's not assigned. If I ping in the Slack channel for folks to pick stuff up, does that kind of work? And if you see any that are like, oh, this is my topic, I can take this, then please do pick it up, comment, and add. Yeah.
And I only commented because everything I checked was ultimately assigned. Like somebody had picked it up, and there wasn't a way to see that. And it was like 30 or 40 minutes of reading, comment threads to go through the list of them. I was like, well, we probably all don't want to do that. So it felt like, oh, what's a better way? But maybe the better way is you do it.
Yeah. And
or one person does it. Yeah.
Maybe I can make a board, because you can put these onto a board.
That's good.
And then you can have like columns for people. And so if it's not assigned to like somebody on this team, it'll be in like the not assigned column, right? Maybe. I don't know. Let me think on that. There's a reason why I didn't want issues, but if issues were easier to work with. Okay. So corporate marketing. This one's a bit more complex. So field marketing, I asked for the quarter. I was told these are all the ones for the quarter. Let's see how it goes. Corporate marketing has been a lot of back and forth, and so there's kind of two ways proposed to approach corporate marketing support. One would be, we as a team ahead of the quarter assign a PMM to each corporate event and say, you're the PMM DRI for this corporate event. This is kind of what we have done historically. The other way would be for GTM teams to adopt events. And this is what Todd would like to see. So the idea is your entire GTM team, not just you, but the campaign manager, the content manager, like everyone on the team is responsible for that event and supporting that event. And so the way that you would think about it is, we are a GTM team. And this is the case where I think I've shared, some of you and I have had this conversation where like the names of the GTM teams are increasingly become more meaningless. For example, like the CI/CD team. Are you really a CI/CD team? Probably not. So just think of because like, did you run a CI/CD sales play? Well, kinda. It's really a DevSecOps sales play. So, and then the point is, okay, if you're the CI/CD team and you pick up, let's say, KubeCon, are you going to only do CI/CD stuff for KubeCon? No, I would not expect that. I would expect you to like run the meaningful campaign for KubeCon that needs to be run, right? So I would just think of yourselves as, we're a cross-functional team. We have a PMM and a content marketing manager and a campaign manager. And other folks too. I forget everyone who's on the core team. It's the TMMs and everybody, right? So the point is think of yourselves as a cross-functional team. And for the quarter, you have certain activities. So you're going to generate a sales play. You're going to support a certain number of corporate events. You're going to do something with campaigns. And hopefully we have enough time on this call to talk about campaigns, because that's confusing too, or changing or something. So does that kind of make sense? Is that a good framework? Like, we're a team and we're just going to execute a certain amount of activities together. Is that kind of like a good framework to think about it?
It is, because I think, because, well, first of all, thanks for addressing the elephant in the room and saying that there's a disconnect between the names and how we operate, because I think that's getting potentially a little confusing. When we talk about things like GitHub takeout, like if we're doing a platform GitHub takeout, do we avoid the CI/CD showdown and talk about the benefits of the platform when we're doing that? So that's really helpful. I think that also helps too when it comes to how we would assign ourselves to these things, because KubeCon is like a good example. Like, if I'm the GitOps team, I've looked at KubeCon and be like, well, that seems like it might make sense for you, but AWS might be too broad. So I still think that those three events might not necessarily, they might not all be equal, and that we might have, our sponsorship level might be different, so we might have different demands. I could see two teams maybe wanting to be part of something if we really need the output and we have other things going on.
Yeah, just case in point, AWS is the biggest event of the year. Like, whoever picks that up, there's more stuff to do than with other events. But they're all a big lift. And I think it would make a lot of sense, say, Samya, with the area of things that you work in, if your team picked up KubeCon, but not necessarily. There's a lot of things in cloud native that have to do with security. Cindy wrote a whole book on cloud native security. Like, Cindy, your team could totally pick up KubeCon. Like, Brian, there is, like, anyone on the team could totally pick up KubeCon. I don't know that it's constrained like that. And to your point, Cormac, we should make the choices that are best for the business, right? Like, you should not look at like, okay, here's a campaign we're working with, or here's a sales play, or here's an event we're supporting, and I'm going to constrain my set of activities because of a name that somebody picked, right? That's like the worst possible reason to do something. Like, you should be thinking like, what's the thing we need to do for the business? What's the talent that we have around us? What are the skill set? What's the knowledge